Hello. Hi, guys. Hello, and good afternoon. Good morning for some of you. Hello. We are so glad to have you guys here. Hi. Thank you so much to everybody for registering. Thank you for being here live. We are so excited to run this workshop for you guys. And we have been putting, honestly, it's probably been about 8 weeks of work into this content so we can make sure we can give you the most value possible, but without overwhelming you, without giving you too much, and without making it go for too long. So it's been a real dance for us to make sure that we nail this content for you guys. But
Hang on a
we're
minute.
so freaking excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much again for being here. We would love to kick off. We always kick off our sessions with something that we call a positive focus. So a positive focus is effectively something that you can draw positive attention to today that is going to change the things that you attract. So effectively, if you only focus on the stuff that's not working, which, let's be honest, in business, there's always stuff that's not working. But if we only focus on what's not working, we're going to attract more of that. Okay. And we want to focus on what's good. So what we would love for you guys and invite you all to do is to please tell us in the chat one good thing, something you're grateful for, a win that you've had today, something good that you have going on, guys. We would love for you to tell us in the chat. We want every single person to participate in this. Hello. Hi, guys. So nice. Can everyone hear me or no? Yes, amazing. Great. Amazing. If you can't hear me, you might need to turn your volume up. Guys, can you please tell us one good thing? Just got your jet ski license. I love that. So good. Had an amazing swim this morning. Yeah, grateful to be here. Gym is completed. We love that. Our gym people. Air conditioning. Amen, guys. I don't know where you are in the world right now, but in Perth, it is 43 degrees today. It is out of control. So it's a big hot day here. I just got off the phone with my bestie in Melbourne. Grateful for having power. Grateful for coffee. Yes, had your first 15K month. They love that. Amazing work. School holidays, amazing.
I'm good, thank
The
you.
ability to
How
go
are you?
all in on your business. We love it. Yes, amazing. Grateful to be here. Grateful to have the motivation and the mindset as well. We love that as well. Getting back into business after having a baby. Congratulations. Guys, so beautiful. Paris today. How bloody sweet and how lovely. I love that for you guys.
Guys, if you're just jumping in, hey, I'm Tim, by the way, just mute yourself. I'm furiously trying to let people in and mute people at the same time. Very hard to do. So if you are not muted, please mute yourself right now.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey. We are so excited. All right. Gosh, so many of you here. Yay. Okay, we are going to dive in today, guys. Obviously, the chat is going to be blowing up today. Can I get a yes in the chat if we're here to get some leads? Can I get a yes in the chat if we're here to get some leads? Amazing. Let me just kind of go through what we're going to go through over the next 3 days so you can get a bit of an understanding of why we're here, what we're doing, and I guess why we're doing it. I did put this up on my Instagram stories a couple of days ago. You're forgiven if you don't follow me on Instagram, but you definitely should if you don't already. Steph Gorton _ and Tim Ray. We noticed last year, we coach a lot of clients. We have an incredible cohort of clients in our program. And we noticed last year that we had to get really clear on how many leads our clients needed to get to be able to make the sales they wanted to make. And with so many new businesses online, with more and more coaches coming into the online space, with social media, multiple platforms blowing up everywhere, you guys will already be feeling this, but it's been harder and harder to generate leads. It's been harder and harder to get enough inquiries to make sure you actually get a consistent things that you need, right? And so one thing that's that we know it's been tough. One thing that we started to realize by doing our own research and also looking at all of our clients' businesses was that you need a lot more leads than you think. And we actually got trolled on one of our Facebook ads last week. Someone was like, you don't need that many leads if you're only going to be working 20 hours a week. And I completely disagree. You do actually need 1,000 leads a month to be able to work 20 hours a week and to be able to have the financial freedom that you need. Because if you right now are generating what we call a lead, so a lead is name, email address, phone number, potentially. That's basically what a lead is, okay? If you're generating that, they're going to go onto your email list. 25% of those people are going to open the emails. Between 1% and 3% of people will click through to your landing page or your Calendly link. And then only another 1% to 3% of those people are actually going to take the next action. And so you need a lot more people on your email list than you previously thought, okay? And we're going to tell you guys over the next 3 days exactly how to, one, find good quality leads, because who here, put your hand up if you've had some shitty leads. Put your hand up if you've had people who are like time wasters, hagglers. They waste your time. They're, saying, hey, miss in your DMs, or hey, coach, all this bloody nonsense. Hi, dear. I get a few hi, dears in my DMs. Okay, we don't want those people in our world. We want high quality leads, people who actually reach out and say things like, hey, I've been looking at your program, your offer. I'm really considering working with you. Can I find out more information? We want those sorts of leads. And so today, on day one, we're going to go through messaging and niche, okay? Because in today's world, where we have so many people in the online space, you need to have a message that cuts through. You need to have language that cuts through. You need to be able, for people to be able to go, hey, that's my person. I want to work with them. So today is all about nailing that. Tomorrow, we're going to take that language and that niche that we build today, and we're going to create you a lead magnet. Now, we're really big believers that you can get to, and not believe, we know, we've done it. Hundreds of our clients have done it. You can get to multi 6 and 7 figures with one good offer, one good lead magnet, and one niche. If you nail those things, that's exactly how we got to 7 figures. We ran one of our lead magnets for over 10 months, the exact same lead magnet. It generated us like 4,000 leads in that time, okay? I promise you, you don't need a lot, but you need them to be very good. And so on day 2 tomorrow, we're going to help you build out a lead magnet. You'll actually leave, your lead magnet will be ready to go. All right. And then on day 3, we're going to teach you how to run some low budget ads and set up some free organic automation funnels to make sure that that's happening for you passively in the background, because y'all don't have time to be messing around, like contacting leads manually all the time, especially if there's going to be thousands of them. Okay. So can I get a hell yes in the chat if we're super excited to get started? Yeah. Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, we will send you guys the recording afterwards as well. Oh my gosh. I can't believe there's 220 people here. Amazing, guys. Thank you for showing up. All right, let's get into this. So you can see my screen. We have some pretty friggin' cool prizes, which is why I'm assuming that some of you are here today. We have an iPad that is worth $750. We have a one-to-one session with myself or Tim, whoever your preference is. It's probably Tim because he's an ads genius, which is valued at $19,000. I wish $1,997. We have a $2,500 gift card for Success School. We have a total prize value of $5,247. All you need to do is to come to each of the days. That's it. So you come to all 3 days and you go in the draw to win this. We have team members who are here right now who are taking down who's on the call. They'll be here tomorrow and they'll be here the next day. And one of you is going to win this. Okay. So we are super excited for that. You have to participate in the chat, which you guys already are. So amazing. We have a bonus. We didn't tell you guys about this, but there is a bonus. Every day that you show up live, one of you will win a one-to-one with myself and Tim. Additionally. Okay. All you need to do to win this one-on-one with myself and Tim is to show up live each day, take a photo. You can do it right now. Take a photo of myself or Tim speaking or of this session, post it on your stories. Please tag myself and Tim. And at the end, we're going to look at all the tags. Whoever posted the most, I don't know, the best aha moment, we're just going to pick it randomly. Whoever posted the best aha moment on their stories will win a one-to-one. Okay. If you have a private account, you should still be able to tag us. That should be fine. We should still see it. So guys, that's the way we're going to win. I'd love to get a heck yes in the chat if you're going to win this. Put a heck yes in the chat for me if you're going to win that. Every single day, one of you is going to have a chance to win this. And then at the end, one of you is going to have a chance to win the big prize. Yeah. Let's get into it. Okay. So let's be real about the reason that we're here today. You need 2025 to be better than 2024. Okay. And you, like most coaches, saw that what used to work no longer works. I don't know about you guys, but I used to be able to put book a call link on my story and people would actually book calls. I used to say, DM me the word and people would just DM me. I used to say, send me a DM to purchase and people used to purchase. I used to be able to post in Facebook groups and get people buying my stuff. Those things don't work as well anymore. They definitely don't. Yeah, the good old days, Daniel. I miss those days, but they stopped working. Okay. And you had to work harder than ever last year for every lead and sale. And you were sometimes spending up to 10 to 20 hours a week on marketing, but not generating nearly enough leads or sales to hit your targets. And for some of you, that would have felt like just grinding for nothing. And if you experienced last year, your first ever thought of, maybe this is too hard. Maybe this isn't going to work for me. maybe it's not going to go the way that I thought it was going to go. If you had that feeling last year, you were not alone in that feeling. We even questioned the industry for quite some time last year, okay? Things really changed. You know that 10 to 20 hours a week on marketing is not sustainable. You know that you can't scale like that, okay? We all know that. It's not realistic, okay? But here's what we saw in 2024. So organic reach went backwards despite you probably making better content than ever before, right? Because you would have got hyper focused on making better content and it would have gone nowhere. New followers were harder to get than ever. And in fact, some of you probably went backwards in following last year. DMs, people that you send DMs to, stop replying. In fact, you started going to people's other inboxes. And your lead flow dried up. And then what happens when that happens is that you start getting desperate on sales calls, needing 100% conversion. You started toying with doing things like low ticket offers because everyone else was selling low ticket offers, okay? You started letting unqualified people onto your sales calls or into your programs. Then you deal with more payment fails, more cancellation requests than ever before. And then you start to think, am I even any good at this? Can I get a yes in the chat if that's what happened to you last year? If any of those things you experienced last year, just so I can get a bit of a, because that like this happened to us too. And it happened across the board, right? Yeah, it sucked. It fucking sucked. I'm so with you guys on that. And so over the next 3 days, we're going to help you solve it. Okay. It's no longer going to feel like that. We spent, I would say, 8 months of last year trying every single marketing tactic under the sun. What did we try last year?
We didn't do crazy stuff in the DMs though.
No, we didn't do crazy stuff in the DMs, but we did try every marketing hack. So we went on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We were doing personal Facebook. We were running heaps of Facebook ads, doing lots of different types of Facebook ads to see what worked. We did boosting of posts. We did Insta stories. We did AI. We did like email marketing. Honestly, if there was any version of marketing last year, we tried everything to figure out what is the highest leverage way. It means the easiest way for us to get the most amount of leads to be able to service people the best and get the best people into our program. And so we're going to share with you guys exactly what we figured out so that by the end of this 3-day event, you're going to have a reliable lead generating engine that never sleeps. Okay. So I'm just going to talk you guys through something. I'm just going to move some stuff around here. This here is how you scale as a coach. All right. This is how we teach our clients to scale. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, we have a few agencies that this works for as well within our program. Okay. But especially for coaches and consultants, this is what Success School is. This is what we teach our clients. This is, what they sign up for. But over the next 3 days, obviously we only have time to focus in on this marketing section. Okay. So we're going to be spending all of our time here in nailing that copy, nailing that message, really turning that into a content generation system and running some basic level ads to be able to generate you the amount of leads that you need. So this is where we're going to be focusing all of our time. All right. So who are we to talk about it, guys? If you haven't met us, my name is Steph. This is Tim. We have had 6 businesses that we have started from zero and scaled and sold. Okay. We've had all sorts of businesses in lots of niches. We've had brick and mortar businesses. We've had nutrition companies. We've had a digital marketing company. We've had a couple of different coaching programs. You name it, we've run it. And we didn't come from money. We didn't have a silver spoon in our mouth. We didn't know what we were doing. We don't have entrepreneurial parents. We didn't have anyone to teach us what a lead was or what a sales process was. We really figured it out over the last, Tim's been in business for over 10 years and I've been in business for 7 now. So we really had to figure it out for ourselves over the last 10 years. We have personally generated $7.7 million in the last 6 years in business. Okay. And our clients have generated over $40 million in sales in the last 18 months. And I want to be really clear, guys. It's a huge amount of money, and it's because we figure out these systems and we're not afraid to go first. I want to be really clear that we've got nothing for you to buy over the next 3 days. There will be no pitch. You will not be getting payment links dropped to you, none of that stuff, okay? But we are going to cover a lot of ground, and we don't have a lot of time, okay? Because obviously marketing, there's a lot to do. So can I get a yes in the chat if it's cool if on day 3 I show you some ways that we can help you implement? Again, I've got nothing for you to buy, but I just want to show you because we're going to get through as much as we can. Yeah, amazing. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Okay, let's get into it, guys. So the first part of today is really around nailing your niche. Now, your niche isn't just who you serve. It's the foundation of your entire business. Let me break this down. your niche isn't just who you serve, it's the foundation of your entire business. When we decided to niche, and actually, Tim, maybe you should tell the story of when we niched.
Yeah, so we were at a business retreat and we were at a dinner, and another coach was like, "Hey, who do you guys work with?" And we were like, "We do service, we do coaching, we do consulting." I basically listed off heaps of stuff. And he goes, "Aren't you someone that teaches niche?" And I was like, "Fuck, I do teach niche, and we don't even have a niche." So that's when we went all in on coaching. And then the week after we went all in on coaching, we changed our messaging, we did all the things, we changed our website, updated everything. We had 6 people join Success School that were coaches, like the week after. It was like one of our best sales weeks of all time, just simply from niching into the coaching and the problems that they solve. So I just want to see, do you guys have a niche? Give me a yes in the chat or no. Okay. And you might have a definition of what a niche is for you, but we might change that today.
Yeah, cool. A lot of people think that they have a really good niche. We're going to go into what a good niche is and what a bad niche is. A lot of people think they have a good niche. What we're finding for 2025 is that you probably have to niche deeper than your niche. So, for example, a niche is not 18 to 35-year-old women. That's not a niche. That's a target market. Okay. And that's a very different thing. So we're going to go through with you guys today, but when you niche correctly, so one thing that we found hard, and one thing that we see our clients struggle with as well, is that when you don't niche correctly, what you have is like, and I'm going to show you shortly a visual example because I think it will make a lot more sense. But when you're trying to help everybody, let's say you're trying to help gardeners and beauty therapists and anyone with a service-based business, right? When you go to create content in your program, it's not just for marketing. It's also when you go to create content in your program, that content becomes generic too, because you need it to work for gardeners and beauty therapists and this type of person and that type of person. And so it means that the people in your programs are not actually getting access to the most specific type of information that's going to help them. Okay. And so when you pick a niche, and this is why we're saying it's the foundation of your entire business, it's not just about your marketing. It's all of your systems. It's all of your follow-up emails. It's all of the PR and the speaking gigs and anything else, the books you want to write, anything else, like anything good comes from niche. Like no one wants to read a book about general business. They're going to read a book about time management for business or how to work a 4-hour work week. Do you see how niche that is compared to I will help you grow your business book? No one's reading that book. And so we want to make sure that when we niche down, it's the foundation for your entire business. It's not everyone who needs what you offer. We believe that we could help the entire world if they wanted to start a business, but it's the people who need it the most and are actively seeking a solution. Okay. And so we're going to go through that now. So I've given you an example here, guys, of nailing your niche. I've used this example as like a nutrition coach who may be targeting women between 18 and 45. And I'm just going to break down for you why this isn't a niche and why it won't work. Okay. Because the woman, number one, who's 18, she has some problems. She wants to have a hot girl summer. That's her goal for this year. She has no money. She doesn't know which influencer to trust online. She's overwhelmed with all the information, and her mum still cooks at home. She's drinking every weekend. All right. This is the number one girl. She's 18. The second woman is 25. So she wants to get strong and lean, but she has some problems. She's still binge eating from her diet days back in the day. She's trying diets, but she can't stick to them. She's working full time and still wants a social life, and she can't give up her cocktail night, but she's also overwhelmed with all the information online. Then we look at woman number 3. She's 33 years old. She wants to lose the mum tum. She's time poor. She's got to cook for a family. She has fussy eaters. She snacks on kids' food all day because she has no time to eat. She's overwhelmed with all the information online, and she needs something easy and simple. Okay. And then number 4, she's 45. She wants to lose 10 kilos and get her energy back, but she's lost all of her confidence. Her midsection's blown out. She's no longer intimate with her husband. The diets don't work like they used to. She has the money, but she just wants to spend it on the right program. The only thing that they all have in common is that they're overwhelmed with all the info online. Now, if I see one more health and fitness business say that you feel overwhelmed with all the decisions that you have to make online, and if you're using that in your language right now, the reason you're not getting clients is this exact reason. It's because your messaging isn't cutting through. All right. So I just wanted to kind of show you visually that each person here has a very different problem, and that people that are 18 and people that are 45 have such wildly different lives. And if you went all in on one of these, could you imagine how much more your messaging would cut through, how much better your lead magnets would be, how much better your programs would be if you were really clear on this? Okay. So I wanted to show you guys visually, and I'm going to give you an example. This is Adriano. He's a legend. We love Adriano. He's a mum's fitness coach. Okay. Before he started with us in Success School, his thing was like, I help women lose weight. All right. He'd been in the fitness industry for years. He was making around 5 to 6K a month. Now, his thing is to help MILFs over 40 to shed 10 kilos. Now, his definition of MILF is mum in love with fitness. And he does really cool like dance. If you got to go follow him, he's freaking phenomenal. And he creates all these dancing reels, and he's like really about like women's empowerment for women over 40. And it's absolutely beautiful. And in just 3 months from just getting really clear and actually attracting, like, because he's funny AF, right? He actually attracts the right kind of people to his program because he uses that language. His ad spend like dropped dramatically. I think his leads went from like
$1 leads.
He gets like $1 leads now from it because the right people, he's calling them out. He wants the fun mums. He wants the girls who don't care. He wants the women who are over 100 kilos and need to lose 10 kilos. He wants those women. And so it's really, really clear. And that's how he got the results. So even though they're both similar, you can see that one is hyper specific, okay? And that hyper specificity is what we're going to dive into shortly. So there are 4 key principles for nailing your niche, all right? And you have to tick all of these off every single time. There's absolutely, if you miss one of them, you won't get the leads that you need, all right? So the first thing is the problem has to be painful and urgent, all right? So a niche with a lukewarm problem is a niche that won't pay you. So if someone's kind of, and I'm going to use the weight loss thing again, if someone's kind of like feeling a little bit overweight, but they still look in the mirror and they're still like, oh girl, you got it, you're fine. That's not a painful and urgent enough problem. You need the person who's looking in the mirror going, oh my God, what the fuck have I done? I've completely blown out. I feel like shit. This is the worst day of my life. Or they get on the scales and they have that experience. Okay. That's the person who's going to pay you. Okay. A niche with a lukewarm problem is a niche that will not pay you. The problem has to be urgent. Otherwise your offer will not be urgent. Okay. And we will go through questions if there's any guys in the chat. They must have the means. So they have to have the money, but they also have to be willing to invest the money in this problem. Again, if the problem is urgent, they will be willing to spend the money, but they have to have the money to spend. So picking the right audience really matters. Like picking an 18-year-old right now may be tough. Those people are barely, struggling they can't even move out of home. Okay. So nothing wrong. If there's 18-year-olds in here, you're amazing. It's all good. But it may not be the best niche for you to choose in terms of money. All right. They've probably just got their first job or they're still in uni. It must be a growing market. So look for a niche with rising demand and a growing number of people who are facing the same problem. So for example, it's a really good time to get into AI. It's a really good time to get into AI, anything right now. Even if you're a copywriter, to create prompts and things like that for AI to put into it, like to be putting into AI. It must be a growing market or a market that has been steady or trending for decades, okay? That it absolutely must do. And it has to have, and this is the hardest part and something that we will go through today, it has to have a tangible transformation, all right? So if you can't articulate the before and after for your clients, the niche may be too broad or unclear. I'm going to give you an example here because I think this is really important. One of our friends is a very good friend, and she does a lot of like really interesting, she's like a life coach. She has a lot of really interesting modalities, lots of really unconventional.
Like a bit weird. You guys would be like, she's a bit off the cliff,
Yeah, she's pretty crazy. And she does some pretty out of the box transcendental, whatever life stuff, right? And the one way that she made it tangible for her audience, she's making well and truly over $1 million a year. One of the ways that she made it really tangible for her audience was she focused in on energy. And she has these like really cool 7-day retreats where you can go and basically have an incredible energy shift. And she takes a photo of everybody on day 1, and then she takes a photo of everybody on day 7. And you can literally see in the photo the energy shift, because someone who has no energy on day 1 and someone who is full of energy on day 7, their skin is better, their eyes are brighter, they're smiling, their hair looks better. You can physically see it. All right. You can see confidence day 1 versus day 7. Okay. And you can measure confidence day 1 versus day 7. So like, for example, if someone joins if you're a confidence coach and someone joins your program today, how do they rate their confidence on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, it might be like a 4. But then at the end of your program, how would they rate their confidence on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, now it's a 10. Oh, awesome. That's a 600% increase in confidence or something like that, right? So that might be wrong. I'm not good at math. But it has to be tangible. Most outcomes can be tangible once you know the outcome you get. But if you say generic stuff like live your best life, too generic. If you say feel better, too generic. If you say
improve your fitness,
too generic. If you say grow your business, too generic. Are we getting the point, guys? Can I get an amen in the chat? Are we getting it?
I think they're getting it.
Amazing, amazing, cool. So it has to have a tangible transformation. Jimmy the dad.
Yeah, guys, if you are generic, like I'm going to be honest here, you'll probably make no money in coaching. Okay, so like really, you have to niche.
All right, Tim is going to drop, guys, just hold up on the chat for 1 sec because Tim is going to drop a link in the chat. All right. If you guys could click that, make yourselves a copy. This is today's worksheet. I actually need to open it as well. This is today's worksheet. We're going to be working through this together for you guys today because I promised you that you would walk away today with stuff done. All right. And we are going to make good on that promise. So I might just open the one.
You sent it to me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys, bear with me. Having some Zoom moments, guys. Our worksheets are the simplest things in the whole world, guys. Anybody can fill them in.
There'll be someone that can't use Google Docs or something. It's always someone.
All right. So I'm assuming you guys can see this document right now. All right. If you're in it, please just make a copy. You should have just been asked to make a copy anyway. All right. So we're going to get really crystal clear on this, guys. So we're going to go through this for 5 minutes or probably 10 minutes or so. I want you to fill this in as we go. Okay. This is for us to do now. I want you to walk away with stuff done. I don't want you to walk away with more to do because that's the worst kind of workshop to attend. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and you're just going to answer these questions and I'm going to give you some time to do it, but we want to get really crystal clear on the people you serve, the problem you solve and why they're going to pay you. Okay. So again, if you've nailed your niche, this is going to be really easy to do, but this is a really cool worksheet to have whenever you're going to make content or lead magnets to have open in front of you. All right. So we want you to base this on one type of person. So an ideal client versus a group of people. All right. So who do you serve? Who are they? So for example, are they a busy mom? Are they an online health coach? Are they a creative freelancer? Are they a coach that's trying to scale to 50K months from 10K months? Like who are they? All right. And then what do they call themselves? So for example, you know, people like to think of themselves like, you know, we just had a really cool, in lots of different ways, people like to call themselves all sorts of different things to avoid saying the thing they are. Tim and I hate being called business coaches. And if we could introduce ourselves in any other way, we would love to. But guess what everybody else calls us when they talk about us to their friends? They call us their business coach. And so if we don't name ourselves business coach, then when you go to search us online for business coach, we're not going to come up. So even though we hate the term, even though we'd rather stick our pencils in our eye than tell people that we're business coaches, especially at the moment, it is what everyone else calls us. And so we have to use the language that our clients are using. All right. It's super important. So I want to give you guys just 60 seconds. I want you to fill this in. Who are the people that that you're targeting? Who do you serve? And what do they call themselves online?
Another example that like we'll stick with the woo-woo theme, that someone might be like, I'm a spiritual manifesting generator coach. And 99.999% of people have no idea what that is when they're actually a mindset coach. So you should just call yourself a mindset coach. Or if you're a personal trainer, people always do this. They're like, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, but like no one calls you a strength and conditioning coach.
There's a PT at our gym that calls himself it's a
hypertrophy coach. I know like 5 people in my life that know what hypertrophy means. So you probably shouldn't name yourself that.
Yeah. And a lot of the time, especially if any of you have got a degree, if any of you have really deeply studied the thing that you studied, you will want to use the language that the degree basically teaches you because you want to appear like you've got a bloody degree and like you're smart and you know what you're doing. The problem is that your audience don't know what those things mean. We don't know what a hypertrophy coach is. I don't know what the fuck that is. But if you said, I'm going to help you lose 5 kilos of belly fat, I'd be like, yeah, that's the belly fat coach. I want that guy. Right? So get really clear on like what the outcome is that your clients want and call yourself the thing that they call you. All right. I don't think the ideal client knows what a hypertrophy, say it again.
Only if they're like a pro bodybuilder or they're a scientist or something like that. If you're going after the high level people, yes. But the problem with the high level people, they don't really need coaching a lot of the time. Okay. So, or less coaching. They still do need coaching, but not at the really high level. So the biggest money in anything is usually in the beginner market or teaching beginners. And it's like 90% of people in business or in small business or coaching make under 10K a month, but 90% of the coaches go for above people that make 10K a month.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, guys, just a replay will be sent to you, and yes, you will get the worksheet with the replay, so no stress. I'm just gonna hit Amanda in the chat here. Amanda has said she's a VA, I think, Linaris VA Solutions. My niche doesn't have an ideal client. Everyone can use my services. That's not true. We have VAs in our program. The ones that are general VAs make the least money. The ones that are hyper-specific VAs make the most. I'll give you an example. Some of our general VAs, they charge $50 to $80 an hour, whereas our VAs that specialize in course launches and build outs can charge up to $15K for 12 weeks of service. Right? When the more hyper specific you go, the more someone can see the need or the value in the service that you provide, the more money that you will make. Okay. Because like a general VA, and if you're a general VA, you end up being thrown in the bucket with all the other overseas VAs as well. And they can't see why they would pay somebody $50, $60, $70, $80, $90 an hour when they could be paying someone $10, $20, $30 an hour in another country. And so and I know that's a really, like I said, we coach VAs, but the more hyper specific you get on, rather than trading time for money, the more specific you get on selling an outcome to somebody rather than just the work done, the more money you will make. All right. Okay, so you guys should have had, who do you serve? So who are they and what do they call themselves? The next point is, what is their desperate problem? So this is the problem that they're going to pay you to solve, okay? So identify the pain points that keep your ideal client awake at night. The more urgent and specific, the better. So what's their biggest struggle? For example, in our niche, our clients struggle with up and down sales. Inconsistent sales are really stressful for our clients because they don't know how they're going to pay their rent next month. They're freaking out because they are too scared to hire team members because they don't know if they're going to be able to pay them next month. It's like really stressful, right? How does this problem make them feel? Well, they feel like a failure. They feel embarrassed, telling their parents that they're still working on this little business that's not really going anywhere. They wake up in the middle of the night freaking out about money. They might open up spreadsheets right before bed just to try and panic themselves, get themselves out of a panic. They might either check their bank account all the time or never check it because they're too scared to look at it. Okay. And what are they currently doing to solve it? Well, for our audience, they're currently just spending 10 to 20 hours a week on marketing. That doesn't seem to get them any closer to it. They feel like they're spinning their wheels and they're almost about to give up. Like they feel like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Maybe the security and safety of a day job starts to look a lot more sexy, right? And then why aren't those solutions working? Because marketing has changed and they're listening to every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the internet, trying all the different whiz bang trends and stuff that come out. They're constantly changing up their strategy and they don't have a simple and effective way to actually do it yet. All right. So guys, I want you to fill this in for yours. What is their desperate problem? What's their biggest struggle? How does this problem make them feel? And really think about deeply, like put yourself in the shoes of the client. Like if you looked in the mirror or got on the scales and you realized that you were 30 or 10 or 15 kilos more overweight than you thought you were, how would that make you feel? Right? So really step into what's keeping them awake at night. Okay. The more specific, the better. This is the language and if you guys are struggling with it, that's okay. If you're struggling with this, that's okay. This takes people a long time to get. And like I said, I have a lot to show you guys, but I don't have a lot of time to talk you through it. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. Please fill this out.
Piero, we can't work out the music function on Zoom, so you're just going to have to listen to us breathe over here, if that's okay with you.
Heavy mouth breathing
Heavy
instead.
breath.
Perfect. Relationship coach. Love it. I think relationship coach is really good. I think it could be, and this is I think it might be Fizzer. I think relationship coach is good. I think that it could go deeper. So like I am a relationship coach for women over 40 looking for their soulmate. Or I am a relationship coach for high performing professionals who are looking for their perfect match. We actually know a relationship coach who makes, I don't know, like $6 or $7 million a year because she matches up CEOs with their perfect match because it's a type of person. Okay. And so I think you can go a level deeper on relationship coach as well. Yeah. Rachel Lowndes, perfect. And hello, honey. So nice to see you again. Yeah. VA specializing in wedding and events. Love that. Perfect. Nailed it. That's awesome, Nikki. Yeah. Cool, guys. This is awesome. Specializing working with young leaders. Yeah, cool. I think probably define young, like leaders under 30, or maybe that's young. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in our 30s now, so we feel young, but potentially depending on what, and that's the thing, like how do you define young? So I think if you can put that in, and like again, guys, for 2025, the more hyper specific you can get, the better it's going to be for your marketing. All right. Whitney, I love yours as well. It's really good.
So Emma, spiritual mentor for beginners. I'm not sure the beginners is necessary on that. Spiritual coach is quite niche or mentor. And then just in the next line, like I help whatever, we're going to get to it. I help these people do this thing. That's where a lot of the explanation will be. But spiritual coach or mentor would intrigue me. And then I would look to your profile and see what you do.
Yeah, guys, these are getting really good. If you're watching the chat, I can see the layers unfolding here of people who are like starting to dig a little deeper. And it's okay, guys, try this niche. And if it doesn't work, you can try another niche in 6 weeks' time. Like, it's not a big deal, okay? But you got to try a niche because, women, nutrition coach for women between 18 and 45, you guys can see it's not going to work, right? So try a niche. Give it a red hot crack for 6 weeks with the stuff we're going to teach you today. If it still doesn't land, then it might be time to rework it, all right?
I just want to go through Danielle's. She said female e-commerce business owner and female course membership creator ready. So just pick one. Just go all in one of those things and you'll do better. Okay. If you're like, I help men and women to do like, just pick one.
So Jane, we have someone in our program who is in the security space as well, just to answer this question, and then I'm going to move on. They do security for big farms. So people who have farms, like, because you obviously need multiple, it depends on what your thing is, but they do security camera installs. And so obviously that's the perfect niche because for them, there's multiple cameras. It's like they're bigger jobs. And so they do kind of like outback Australia farms and stuff like that. So it's about going, okay, I don't really want to do the 1 camera installs because it's a waste of time and money. I really want to do the 10 camera installs because that's where the big bucks are at. So then if I look at the kinds of houses that would have a 10 camera install, we're looking at probably big properties, right? So can you guys see how we're getting those jumps in logic to get to the ideal client that we actually want? Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm going to move on. So what do they really want? So this is the transformation that they most want, the outcome that they're willing to pay for. So what is their dream outcome? So for our clients, they want to have consistent minimum 30K cash months, minimum in an ideal world. They want more than that, but they're happy with that. And they just want it to be consistent and they want to do it without burning out. So they want to do it in 25, 30 hours a week, right? Because they really value time and they value lifestyle freedom. So what is their dream outcome? And then what is the deeper reason that they want this outcome, right? So confidence, freedom, security, why is the reason they want that, right? And then how will they know they've succeeded? So what will change their life? So for us, they'll have 30K cash months. It's very measurable. It's very easy. For you guys, you need to find out what that is, all right? So just a couple of 60 seconds for you guys just to fill this in. And again, you're going to be able to come back to it. It's okay if you can't get it all done right now. You have plenty of time to work on this over the next few days. Piero, perfect. Love it. So good. Way better. Way better. All right. What is their dream outcome, guys? Why do they want that outcome? And how will they know they've succeeded?
And if you guys don't know this, you need to spend some time with your niche and coffee dates, calls, whatever it is. and go really deep. A lot of people don't even know their dream outcome for using your service. So get very granular, get very specific about it. If you're a business coach and people say they want to make money, you need to go deeper on that. Okay. So like how much money they want to make, why do they want to make more money? Why do they want that? And we want to go deeper and deeper and deeper until we come up with the real meat of what they want here. So if you guys are really struggling with this, okay, I would spend some time with your niche and ask them, just, talk to your clients and see.
One thing I want to touch on here, Elise Small, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to use you as an example. You've put, I'm a breathwork and spiritual coach. I help mums get out of their heads and into their hearts because they have lost their way home. She's not using that language, right? She's not like, oh, I've lost my way home. She may feel and be aware that she is disconnected from her body. She may feel like she never has enough time for herself. She may be energetically exhausted and running herself ragged. She may be super disconnected, completely unable to be intimate with her husband, snapping at her kids because she's so dysregulated. She will be aware of those things, but she probably won't be using the language of, like, I'm looking for a way home. Once she experiences that, she will know that she's felt it. Okay, because I know that where that's coming from, because that's how she will feel at the end. But she doesn't even know that's a possibility right now because she's so disconnected. So I think that yours could do a little bit more work around, like, what language is she using? Is like, I want to come back into my body. Why does she want to come back into her body? Like, talking about her disconnect and where she wants to get to from that disconnect, to be calm, to be patient, to be whatever it is, right? Okay, guys. The next part is, can they pay? So please make sure that your niche has both the desire and the ability to invest in solving their problem. The fastest way to stay broke is to serve a niche that doesn't have the money to pay you. Once you get the financial gains that you want to get in this lifetime, you can give back all you want. Okay. That's why Tim and I run this stuff for free with no sell and zero pitch, is because we want to give back. We have the ability, we have the means, we want everybody to win. We think that the world is better when people are not struggling, all right? And so you can give back once you've reached the financial milestones, but if you are trying to get to a place where you're no longer worrying about bills, no longer looking at menu prices, then you'll be able to give from overflow. So I highly recommend finding people who actually want to pay you, all right? And then last but not least, guys, I want you to just write down why you are the person to help them. Why are you the person to help them? What have you got? What's your unique skill? What's your unique experience? What results do you bring? What proof do you have? If you don't have any proof, that's cool. You probably created it because of something that you've gone through, which is a lived experience. That's also amazing. Just tell us, like, right in there, what is your lived experience? What results do you bring? What proof do you have? All right. And what makes your approach different to anything else they've tried? Why should they try you next? Because they've tried diets before. They've tried VAs before. They've tried doing meditation before. They've tried breath work before. So how is yours different? And if you guys are struggling with this, how you're different, this is the most work that you need to do, because right now you will be being compared to a lot of other people online who do similar stuff to you. And if you struggle to articulate how you are different, it's going to be really hard for your ideal client to know how you're different. Like, you need to be the one that knows it first. And again, guys, this isn't right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. This is just you taking the time to figure it out. It's just taking the time to really sit with yourself and be so unfucking humble. Like, you got to be unhumble in this moment. This is your moment to be the most unhumble ever. I'm really good at this and I'm the best at this because, right? So this is not a time to be cutesy and nice and the good girl or the good boy or any of those things. Okay. So guys, again, I'm going to give you probably another 30 to 60 seconds to fill out this worksheet. All right. Again, if you are struggling, if you are finding it hard, take a breath. You can come back and do it later. All right. We're going to take a 5-minute break in a second. So you guys can go to the toilet, grab some water, whatever it is that you need to do, fill out your worksheet. We're going to stay here and we're going to be in the chat. So if you guys have questions, we'll happily answer them for the next 5 minutes. All right.
Yep, 5 minute break time. If you guys need to do anything, I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but it's very fast.
Hey, Crystal has asked a really cool question, which I love. She said, what if you don't have a lot of client results throughout your work? That's cool. We all started there, myself included, Tim definitely included. We highly recommend doing what we would call like a beta round of your offer, whatever your offer is, and getting a heap of people in, like 5 to 10 people in or more, at a discounted rate so that you can get the testimonials and proof in your program. So I'll give you an example. My first ever coaching program was $900 for 12 weeks, and I let people pay over a 6-month payment plan. I got 5 people in my first round, which so obviously not enough to pay the bills, but those 5 people in the second round, they had recommended me so many times because I'd asked them to. If they were loving the program, I asked them to tag me. I asked them to tell a friend. In the second round, I had 20 people and I put the price up to $1,200. In the third round, I have 45 people. In the next round, and then we started a new program, and on day 1 of my launch of my new program, we had 40 people join. And then that program ended up taking us to $1 million in 12 months. So you don't have to, like, to get the proof, you need to have a cohort of people run through and give you a testimonial. And so we recommend doing a beta round, a discounted round. Come and experience this program. It's cheaper because I need to know if it works. If it works, I just need a testimonial from you at the end, and then just get a heap of people through it. Then you have all the testimonials, then you can go hard, increase the price, go hard with your marketing.
Just an example on this, guys. A lot of them are very confusing. So like paragraphs, I help people do like this crazy amount of stuff. Just focus on one outcome. So you've probably seen our marketing, or if you're here, you've definitely seen our marketing. We usually just talk about leads and sales and money. Okay. And they're basically all the same thing. We don't actually teach all of that. We teach that in Success School, but we teach sales, we teach scale, we teach SOPs, we teach AI, we teach heaps of stuff. But the sexy stuff that everyone wants, every single person, they want leads. So why do we make a 3-day workshop on leads? Because it's the most sexy thing that everyone wants. So you can lead with just one thing or one outcome that you do, rather than like a paragraph and everyone gets confused and doesn't read it. Like just the simple, tangible thing that they want. If you're in fitness, everyone wants weight loss. So lead with that.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of fitness people will be like, and there are some people who are going to be like, I don't like talking about weight loss. Because, whatever, I don't like the diet culture or the industry or whatever. We've had clients like that, and eventually we've, and they've kind of struggled for like 6 to 12 months within our program because they didn't want to use the language that their ideal client's using. All right. The minute that they switched to, I help women lose weight without dieting or whatever it is, they immediately had 6 signups in 24 hours to a program that they could barely get people to sign up for before. You have to use the language that your audience is using. There is just no doubt about it. You have to use that language, guys. It is a must, an absolute must.
2 minutes and then we'll get started again.
Danielle, I have a messaging problem. That's okay. We're going into messaging next. So all good. We're gonna nail some key messages for you guys next, so that tomorrow when we do lead magnets, you're gonna be able to run this through so quick. Like you're gonna be able to build the easiest lead magnet in the world tomorrow, from the language that we're gonna give you today. We give you templates. We're gonna make it really easy for you to win this. Okay, as easy as we can. Amanda, Linares VA, I still love it. I still would love to know who for. So for example, operational chaos, I'll just give you some examples. Operational chaos for like an owner operator is very different to operational chaos for somebody that's earning $5 million a year. So operational chaos for an owner operator will be like they have no SOPs, they have never outsourced before, they're doing everything themselves, all of their how-tos are in their head, all of those things. Whereas someone at like even at over $1 million a year will probably have some team members, but their team members are operating almost kind of ad hoc and without any, we have no control over them necessarily, right? So operational chaos for someone at 1 mil plus is going to be very different to operational chaos for somebody that's hiring their first employee. Okay. And so that's the reason why we want to speak to one type of person. And again, Amanda, for you, it's like, okay, but which one of those has the money to pay you? Which one of those is most likely to pay you $70, $80, $90, $100 an hour? All right, guys, 60 more seconds. Anthony, I love it. So good.
Guys, if you're confused with this, that's okay. That's a sign you're learning and growing. Okay. We've had people that it's taken a long time to work out their niche. So if you don't come up with this like in the next 10 seconds, it's nothing wrong. You just need to spend some time on this stuff and like put a bunch of effort into it. Talk to people, talk to your clients. Don't hang out with like cheer people that just say, yeah, everything's amazing when it's not. You want someone that's actually going to give you advice and good advice, okay? Not just like shitty advice from people that aren't in business. So you need to speak to a lot of people.
This is good, guys. Yeah, guys, if you're experiencing what we hate to use this word, but if you're experiencing something that we would call overwhelm, it just means that you're learning something very rapidly and you don't have all the answers yet. That's all that means. Okay. It doesn't make you good or bad. It doesn't mean you're going to fail at business. It doesn't mean any of those things. It's just that this is hard to do. If this was easy to do, everyone would be rich. Yes. If this was easy to do, everyone would have the most cool messaging ever. They'd nail every post. Like, this is going to take time to learn. And, you know, it often will take us a couple of weeks inside Success School for a new client for us to review and go backwards and forwards until they nail it down. But you can smash it out in a week if you're really clear on who you work with. So, or who you want to work with. So, you know, back to Amanda, you know, the VA, it's like, okay, but you don't want to work with people who don't have the money to pay you or who have the money this month but don't have the money next month. Okay, so then we need to work with people who are probably earning more than 10, 15K a month. Okay, so what kind of businesses am I really good? Have I loved working with that will definitely be earning at least 10 to 15K a month? And so then you start to kind of almost do it as like a pattern of figuring out the right niche for you. Okay. All right, guys. So coming back in, we're going to present this. All right. Is that clear on your side? Yep. Cool. So we are going to come back in and nail your messaging. So you should ideally know your niche intimately, but still struggle to attract clients. Now, if you don't know your niche, that is why you'll be struggling. All right. If you kind of have a pretty good niche, a lot of you do. We've been seeing the chat. Most of you have a pretty good niche. All right. But you're still struggling to attract clients. And that might be because how you help your niche is actually like a paragraph that's this long and is really big and really complex. And so if it's hard for them to read, the people who make the most money make things the most simple. Who here is a fan of Alex Hormozi or any of these guys online that just like simplify stuff? So they say it in like, you know, 5th grade English language, right? Which is a hack for AI.
Yeah.
The hack for AI is to say, hey, can you make this really complex sentence that most of you have just typed in the chat, put it into ChatGPT and ask it to put it into 5th grade level English for you. Okay. The more simple you make the outcome or the lesson or the thing is that you do, the more you know it, the more that people want things to be simple. They don't want them to be complex, guys. You didn't come here because you wanted us to teach you some extremely complex lead funnel. You came here because we were like, we promised you it would be easy. We promised you it would be simple to do what we're teaching you. People want simple. They don't want complex. All right. So speak their language, not yours. If they say that they're stressed and overwhelmed, don't call it time inefficiency. We've already touched on this. All right. If they want to ditch diets, don't talk about nutritional optimization. Okay. You want to get paid over sounding smart. Your ego can take a little hit here. Okay. Your ego doesn't need you to be smart. It needs you to help people so that you can have the time and financial freedom that you desire. Yes. So your audiences, or your ability to make your audience think they get me, is how you're going to get a flood of clients. Who here has bought something? Can I get a yes in the chat if you've bought something from somebody because you saw yourself in their messaging? You were like, oh my God, how do they know that about me? I felt like I was the only person struggling with that. If you've bought something because somebody put on a piece of copy or a post and said something to you, were like, I didn't even know, but that is 100% me, right? And you may have heard some of it today in the stuff that we've been saying, because we know our audience so deeply. I know what's keeping you awake at night because I've been you and I've coached hundreds of you. And so I know the stresses. I know the pressure that your relationships are under. I get it because I've been there. And so being able to let them know, hey, I've walked a mile in your shoes, and I want to help you get through this problem. And I have a pathway because I've done it before and I've done it for people before. Let me show it to you. It feels safe. It feels like a safe yes. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about Amanda. She's a life and health coach. She joined our program, Success School, maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago, really recently. She was posting and getting 0 leads for her health and fitness offer. We reviewed her sales copy. We went deeper on her problems that they were experiencing, and we amplified away from motivation. I want to talk about away from motivation for a second. There was a study recently that was done on rats, which I hate because I hate animal testing, but at the end of the day, it is what was done. And at the end of, they put basically these rats into like a tube, and at the end of the tube, they put a piece of cheese. And of course, the rat moved towards the cheese because it wanted the cheese, all right, obviously. So that's desire-based marketing. It's like, here's the thing you can have that's going to be amazing. And they measured the speed at which the rat moved towards the cheese, okay? So desire-based marketing. Cheese is very good for you. You're going to love this cheese. Rat moves toward cheese. Then they did the same activity, except they put a fire or a hot flame towards the end of the tube. And the rat ran way faster away from the flame than it did to get to the cheese. Yes, because most of us are motivated from away from things. We don't want the pain that we're currently experiencing. All right. We want to get out of this shit that we're currently in. And yes, we want to move towards this phase. But for some of you, if I said to some of you tomorrow, in 6 months' time, you could have $100,000 per month business, a lot of you wouldn't believe me. A lot of you wouldn't believe me that it was possible for you. I know that feeling because I didn't believe it was possible for me either. A lot of you wouldn't truly believe that you could do it. I believe every single one of you can do it. Okay. The thing is that desire is not enough because we have a lot of belief systems about getting to the point we want to get to, right? But away from pain-based motivation, so away from the pain that they're currently in, they fucking know that's true because they're living it every single day. Yes? So away from motivation is always going to be more motivating than towards. Now, you want to have a mix in your social media content, in your pain point marketing. You want to have a mix of both, okay? But you definitely don't just want to have all desire-based marketing because people are trying to get out of the pain they're in, and letting them know that you know what those pains are and that you see them in that experience and that you have a pathway to go from pain to pleasure is why they're going to buy from you. Okay. So January is a really good time if you're in the health, fitness, business space. Life coaching, pretty much January is a very good time for making money, guys, if you're in any of those spaces, okay? And Amanda was posting and posting and posting, and she wasn't getting any leads or signups. We amplified her away from motivation. We spoke about that, the fact that nothing's going to change in 2025 unless her clients become the kind of woman who takes action, unless they choose to become the kind of woman who stands up for what she believes in and actually, does the things she says she's going to do and has commitment. All right. And so we created this whole marketing message in 5 minutes on a call. And within 2 hours, she'd got 2 new leads. And then within 24 hours, she had 10 people sign up to her program from one good message. Guys, you're one good marketing message away from a flood of leads. One good message away from a flood of freaking leads. I promise you. Okay. So I know how much this work works, which is why we're so passionate about it. So when you are talking about messaging, we teach 8 statements. These are the 8 statements that we teach our clients to have so they can have them on their website, they can have them on their lead magnets, they can have them in their social media marketing, they can have them wherever else they're going to put them, okay? And that's your I help statement. So this I help statement is going to be the statement that goes in your Instagram bio. It's going to be the thing that most people know you for, all right? Then you have your promise statement. That is basically saying, this is the promise that I'm going to help you get. This is what we're going to do by working together. You have a transformation statement, which is from point A to point B. You have a problem statement. So that's deeply understanding and speaking to, I know where you're at right now. There's a differentiator statement. That's the kind of statement that says, this is like everything you're seeing online, and here is how I'm different. You have some benefit statements. So these are all the benefits of working with me versus working with somebody else. Failure to success statements. So what it looked like before and what it looks like after working with me, and gap statements. So this is really widening that gap from where they are to where they want to be and letting them know that you have the bridge to build. Now, I would love to go through all of these with you today, but unfortunately, we are running low on time. And so we're going to go through 2 of these today, but I think that they're 2 of the most powerful ones that you will use. Again, knowing that you can have more of these, please, we want to help you with all of them. And if you basically, out of all of these things, what we do is we help our clients to create a sales page or a landing page with all of these things on there. So it's an incredibly psychology-based landing page where people actually just genuinely want to sign up and buy. Okay. Today, we're going to go through the I help statement and the promise statement together. So in your worksheet that I gave you guys just before, and so Tim might need to copy and paste it in, but hopefully most of you have it open. We're going to go through first your I help statement. So this is who and how you help. All right. So again, we want to touch, before we go through your I help statement, you want to have a think about, what do your clients call themselves? How do they identify? So for example, I'm a woman over 35. What do they really want? So what?
No, you're not.
I'm 34, turning 35 soon. What do they really want? So the big transformation. And what do they absolutely not want? So their main struggle. So on your worksheets, guys, we're going to do this together again right now. This will be the simplest messaging you'll ever do. I promise. All right. So open up your worksheets for me. And I'm going to try and open up mine again. Not my strongest suit, unfortunately. Here we go. Okay. So your I help statement. So guys, just write down, and you would have just done it above. What do they call themselves? Are they a woman over 40? Are they a health and fitness coach? Are they
a rat?
Are they a rat? Are they a builder? What are they? What do they identify as? What do they really want? Again, you wrote this above. What do they really want? They really want to lose 10 kilos. They really want to make 30K cash months. They really want to only work 10 hours a week in their business. They really want to feel secure in themselves and their confidence. They really want to nail that first date. They really want to smash that job interview. They really want to have a building business that runs without them so they can move to Bali. Whatever it is, guys, what do they really, really want? And what do they absolutely not want? All right. I know for you guys, let me give you an example. You're a coach, you want to get to 30K cash months. All right. What do you really want? You really want to get to 30K cash months, but you're not willing to burn out for it. And what do you absolutely not want? You definitely don't want to be spending 20 hours a week on marketing. You definitely don't want to spend heaps of money on expensive ads agencies. You definitely don't want to do dancing reels, although no judgment if you do. But you want
Lots of judgment.
You want to do it effortlessly. You want to do it as effortlessly as everybody else, and you really want a lifestyle business. All right. So we give you some examples in this document. I help mums lose those last 10 kilos in the next 90 days. All right. I help high-performing mums in business get 10 hours back per week to spend with their families. I help female leaders ditch burnout and perform in the top 1% of their industry. I help coaches scale to 80K cash months without dancing reels going viral or cold DMs. Can you guys see how specific they are? Super specific. They speak to something. Yes. And so there's a heap of templates here that you can use. The first one looks like I help ideal clients, so mums in business, whatever yours is, to get thing that they really want in a time frame that you help them get it in. Yes, super simple. I help ideal client get transformation they really want so that they can have dream life. I help ideal client ditch the thing that they are struggling with right now so that they can achieve the thing that they really want. Is this making sense, guys? It's so simple. You actually literally can't mess it up. All right. So I want you guys to maybe create one of each. I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to try and use one of these templates, and you can pop it down here below. Try and use one of these templates and then post it in the chat so we can have a little look at some of them. So, I have I'm going to answer Crystal here. I think that's a really cool question. So she said, what's a realistic time frame if you got yourself the result in 2 years? I would hope that your program isn't taking somebody from point A to point B, point A being completely nowhere near the result and point B being 2 years down the road. We usually can't teach somebody everything that we've learned over 2 to 3 years in a matter of weeks, right? Most coaches get this wrong. Most coaches try and teach 80 to 90% of what they know in a 10 to 12 week period. It's too much. People can't consume that much information. And so one thing that a coach told me once, which has been so helpful for my own growth, was teach 20% of what you know. So, I'm not going to teach you guys, for example, how to go from $0 to 200K months, because it's too big a jump. There's too much to teach. There's so many things that have to happen at each point. Like at 10K months, you have another level up. At 50K months, there's a big level up that has to happen, both identity and business. 100K months, you need basically an entire team overhaul. And so there's too many things that happen at each milestone to try and take someone from point A to point B being 200K months, which took us, 6 years, right? Or even 2 years. It's too much to teach. Your courses or your offers should teach point A to B, which is like, for example, 0 to 10K months. Or 10K to 30K. Does that make sense, guys? Can I get a thumbs up if that's landing? Most coaches try and teach their clients way too much in too short a time period. Charlotte, I love it. It's a bit long, but I think you can keep working with it. Rachel, I help yours is always perfect, babe. Nice work. I help network marketers earn 3K per month without spammy DMs in just 12 months. Nailed it. I help busy, hardworking people buy their dream home without having to step foot in a bank. Oh, I love that thing they don't want. They don't want to step foot in a bank. I help busy professional ladies over 45 lose weight after weight loss surgery and prevent weight regain in 4 months. Cool. I would do 12 weeks if I was you. Is that the right time? Or 16 weeks rather than in the health space, guys, weeks is better than months. Just a little bit of psychology there for you. Cool, guys. These are coming along really good. Nice. Awesome work. Just reading these through. I help couples stop fighting and start fucking again. Oh, Jade, I love it. Amazing. And yeah, people are going to get offended, and let them. You'll find your people. You will find your people. Okay. And that's exactly what you want. Because guys, if realistically, if you had 1,000 people sign up to your thing tomorrow, you couldn't handle it. Most of you couldn't handle it if 100 people signed up. Most of you wouldn't have the systems to handle it if 20 people signed up tomorrow. Okay. And so you don't need everyone. You just need a handful of heck yes legends, a handful of your heck yes people. That's all you need. Yeah. So definitely, like, don't be scared to piss people off. Don't be scared that they're going to get offended. Don't be scared that, like, they're just not your people. And if they can't handle you in your messaging, in your content, they're definitely not going to handle you in your programs, in your coaching.
Steph, I'm feeling a lot of fear here around niching. Can you tell us why someone would be scared of niching?
Yep.
And what you would say to that?
Yeah, so
because people are like, oh, I've got all the niches and I can help everyone.
I totally understand it, guys. We were really scared to niche too. And every single client we've worked with has been super scared to niche. And I understand why. I think that the reason why we're so scared to niche is because we're scared to cut people out. And we're scared that, like, we know that we can work with everybody. And a belief system we hear a lot. Here's the number one belief system we get. But I can help everybody. Yeah, same. We really can help everybody. Really, we can. We feel really confident. We don't work with e-commerce. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Tim and I really feel that we could coach anybody to success. We really do. But the thing is that we can still say yes to those people, but we cannot market to those people because generic marketing, guys, isn't cutting through. Right now, if you're on this call today and you are struggling with leads, generating enough leads or getting enough inquiries, I'm telling you right now that your messaging is off. For sure, 110%. So you could be sitting there going like, oh, but like, you know, if you have a problem with getting leads and attracting the right people to your world right now, there is a niche or messaging issue. Number one, every single time. We've coached over 1,000 people, guys. I'm telling you, this is bread and butter for us. This is literally our jam every single day. Okay. But I understand that you're scared of cutting people out. And I understand that by going broader, you think that you have more people to sell. Okay. But by going broader, you just have diluted messaging. Because if we go back to the example of the 18 to 45-year-old women, every single one of those people had overwhelmed. But if I see overwhelmed in one more person's marketing, I'm going to stab my eye with a pencil. Overwhelmed is the most overused phrase. Chaos, another overused phrase. Time poor, overused. Guys, you need to use language that other people aren't using. It has to come from your heart. If you start using language that everyone else is using, you're blending with everyone else's stuff. So I understand that you're scared. I get it. But I ask you, I beg you, try it for 1 month. Niche down for 1 month. Give it a go for 1 month. What have you got to lose? Because you're not getting enough leads and inquiries now. So you may as well give this a try for 1 month. Okay. When you talk to everyone, you speak to nobody. when you get specific on a niche, it means that you can really position your offer that you've created, whether that's a course or a program or a protocol or a workout system, whatever it is, you can really position that to solve a problem for somebody, like a really specific problem for somebody. So more people will buy your offer because they can see that it's the pathway from A to B. Because no one wants to just be like, I'm not going to buy a program because I just want to be less overwhelmed. Because am I getting less overwhelmed in life? Is my pantry getting less overwhelming? Is my fitness getting less overwhelming? Is my nutrition getting like, what are we even talking about? Like, it needs to be specific, right? And
I'm just gonna say on the niche, guys, is like, we're gonna go tomorrow and we're gonna do a lead magnet, which is cool. But if your lead magnet's off, no one's gonna download it. So this is why we do niche first, so you guys can get clear on it or have some understanding. Then we're gonna build a lead magnet that actually bangs and people want to get it. And then we're going to pour gas on it and show you guys how to run ads. But more ads is not the answer if you don't have a niche, okay? Doing more Instagram posts is not the answer if you have a niche, because no one's going to care. No one gives a shit. Or your emails are not going to hit, okay? So your niche and who you do and what you serve and what you do is literally the cornerstone. If you've got that right, you can get like literally hundreds of thousands of leads. But if you're just like everyone else saying generic language, it's not going to hit.
Yeah, it's so important, guys. Like, and that's why at the beginning of this presentation, I said, this is the foundation for your entire business. This is literally the foundation for your entire business, because it will change the way that if you work with, for example, I'm just going to use the fitness example again, or I'm going to use Adriano as the example. So he went from, I help women lose weight to I help MILFs over 40 lose 10 kilos, right? The reason that worked so well is because now he has a nutrition protocol that helps women over 40 lose weight. The nutrition protocol for someone over 40 is very different from the nutrition protocol for someone at 18. Because guess what happens? I don't know if women over here are over 18, but your metabolism changes. Shit changes. Like, you don't lose weight the same way that you used to, right? And so that's why you have to like niche down, because now all of his systems are designed to get these women who don't have time, who don't want to really exercise, who just want to lose weight with their nutrition. He has an entire protocol specifically for them. And he's not having to do 5 different diet protocols for all these different types of women, which makes his back end of his business chaos. When you work with lots of people, you have to have different protocols for everything. Yeah. And that's exhausting for you as well. It's not just exhausting for, you know, your audience to see. So we've done the promise, the I help statement, guys. I love that. Keep working on it. Chuck it into ChatGPT, get them to refine it. Tell it to make it 5th grade English, really simple. And then the second one is the promise statement. So the promise statement is really about, and this, people are going to wig out here.
Oh, no.
You guys are going to wig out.
People trip
here. The promise statement is basically saying what you promise, what outcome you promise to get them. People wig out because people don't want to make promises. Yeah. You have to get past that, because people are only buying through promises now. Now, it's not your responsibility. I want to be really clear. I'm going to use nutrition again because it's just the perfect example. You can't go over their house and force feed them the food they need to eat. So the promise that you promise has to be that they have to do the work. But if they do the work and they follow the protocol, they will lose the weight. Or you'll work with them. A lot of people will do like, I'll work with you for free until you do. But this is how sure you have to be on your system. I will help you get 10 hours back per week. I will help you get 5 hours back per week to spend with your family. I will help you to get to, for us, it's like, we'll help you get 10 new clients, or we'll give you a full money back refund. We'll give you a full refund if you don't sign 10 clients in our program. Because that's how sure we are, and we have a system that generates those results. And as you just saw, like in Amanda's thing, we got those in like a day. She got 10 clients in a day. So we're so sure that our systems work that we have a promise. We'll help you get 10 clients or you get a full money back refund, right? So your promise is the thing that makes people feel safe to buy from you. In a world where people are making promises and more businesses are doing this, you are going to have to get really clear on what this looks like for you. All right. Otherwise, you are going to be left behind, and it's uncomfortable. I understand. It's something that you have to work on. I'll help you increase your confidence by over 250%. Again, you can do that by measuring at the beginning how confident they feel and measuring at the end how confident they feel, and then looking at the difference in the percentage of the two. It's really easy once you know what your promise is. Okay. So,
and let's just get a bit tactical with this, guys, because I know people are going to be like, all right, but like, how do I do this like legally? In your terms and conditions, you have to have like the steps of like, so they have to do this. Like in Success School, they got to get on 2 calls a week for a year. do all the modules, and then there's a bunch of others. Okay. If they can confidently get on 2 calls and get coached by us every single week, you're going to get 10 clients a lot quicker than you guys have seen how powerful this is in an hour. We're not even coaching you.
We can help someone get 10 clients in 2 days. Honestly, it's just like it's down to them showing up and doing the work, right? We can't force somebody to do the work that we tell them to do. So it's not about saying that like you guaranteeing them the results, because, and you don't have to have a guarantee. It's not about guaranteeing them the results. It's about saying, if you actually do the work and you actually have the discipline to do this, these are the results you can get. And that those results will come from proof that you already have, either proof that you have done it yourself or proof that clients who have come through your program have done it. Okay. We're not just going to make some fake promise that we can't stick to. That's BS. We're not doing that shit. Okay. That's yucky, tacky online stuff. We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're making sure that we make a promise. And again, if you haven't had enough clients through your program, please run a beta offer. Please get a heap of people through for cheap so that you can prove the thing that the hypothesis that you're trying to make for the promise. Okay. So let's just go through this step by step. 1, who is your ideal client? We've done this to death. You guys already should, from today, ideally be in a position to know who your ideal client is. All right. What's the main transformation? Again, we've done it above. What's the one thing that they really don't want to have, like to do, that the thing that they're absolutely trying to avoid? And what's the main benefit of working with you? All right. So if you can fill those 4 in, and then we've given you some examples. So I help online coaches go from unpredictable income to consistent 5-figure months without working 80-hour weeks. It's a promise. That feels like a fair promise, right? I help fitness coaches scale their business to 6 figures in 12 months using my lean launch blueprint. And then I help online health coaches who want to sign 10 high-ticket clients per month, build a predictable sales system so you can scale your business without relying on constant content creation or exhausting DMs. Right. And again, we've given you a framework for this. So from starting point, place they are now, $0, 10K months, overworked, working 50-hour weeks, to desired outcome without big thing they're trying to avoid, or achieve specific goal. So very specific goal, 10 kilo weight loss in 90 days using the fat loss blueprint, whatever your thing is, using Success School. For women in their 40s who want the result, I help you lose weight so that you can have more beach time with your kids without being self-conscious. Yes? All right. What's the chat saying, Tim?
Not much.
All right, guys. I want you to try. I'm going to give you a second. Can everybody try for me to create one promise? And I really want you to just get in the headspace of, if you're sitting here right now and you're like, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it. I just need you to delete that thought for a second and go, if I had to do this, like my life depended on it, and I removed all fear and all fear of judgment and all fear of rejection, and I removed all of this BS stuff that my head is telling me right now, and I just did the activity like I was doing it for my boss and I'm in a day job, how would I do this? What would I write? If I was at work and someone said, I'm paying you to do this for our business, what would you write?
And also, guys, think about it like really desperately. Like if you were homeless and you had to make sales, what would you say to someone? Like, that's not bullshit. That's actually true. So if you think about it from like an away from motivation, if shit was really desperate in your life, like what would you actually say? I think this is a big problem. A lot of the time in the Western world, we have it too good as well. So there's like not enough away from motivation. Therefore, no one really takes risks and says the thing that they need to say in marketing.
Joshua said, I help you make your first 100K in sales. I'd love to know what niche or industry, or is that for business people? Is that for sales executives? Is that for, business development managers? Like, who do you work with? In an ideal world, would have it in there. Oh, Candace, I go from wrinkles and brown spots to glowing and youthful skin in 24 weeks. Sign me up. Yeah. Sign me up. I want it. I have brown spots. I'm trying to get rid of them. Perfect. I love it. Good job. I help ambition women in business overcome mindset barriers and gain the clarity, confidence, and freedom to grow their business on their own terms. It's good. I would avoid. I would love to know actually for Diana or Deanna. Clarity, confidence, and freedom. They feel a bit like generic words. What specifically? So I help ambitious women in business overcome mindset barriers. What I want you to define for yourself what business on their terms actually is. What is business on? If you're talking to one person, what does business on her terms actually look like? Is it like, what does she actually want? Does she actually just want to work 20 hours a week? Does she never want to pick up her laptop after 3 p.m. because that's after school time? Like, what does she really want? And then use that language instead. For holistic health providers who want to showcase their business, I help you access families seeking holistic services. It's a bit wordy, Rose. I would do like, I help holistic health providers access, I match up families with holistic health providers seeking services for children, something like that. Like, I think there's a way of saying that that's a lot more simple and less wordy than the one you're currently using. I help women aged 35 to 55 improve their health without another yo-yo diet. Okay. Health is a little bit general. So I don't know whether you do Reiki or whether you're a nutrition coach or whether you're a fitness coach or whether you're a gut health expert. So Mel, you just want to get a little bit, like, I help them improve their, like, what parts of their health. These are good, guys. Are people starting to get it? Like, can you see how much more specific we can get with our language, guys? Like and I know it's hard. Please be patient with yourself. We're all just learning this, right? I help leaders see their own values. They can get off the rat wheel and create the impact they're here for. Yeah, cool. Rat wheel, is it hamster wheel? But whichever language they're using is totally fine. For ambitious professional women who feel unseen, I hope you own your worth and achieve recognition so you can build a career proud of 90 Days. Sharon, that's beautiful. Nailed it. I help women over 30 lose 5 kilos and ditch yo-yo dieting for good. Perfect, Josh. Love it. From rock bottom to strong, a purpose-driven life without falling back into the addiction or feeling lost. It's good. If you didn't have the addiction in there, I wouldn't have known what that was. So it's perfect. Guys, these are good. Okay. So Josh, you said, I help burnt out high achiever dads escape the 9-to-5 grind and replace their income. So instead of I'll help you make your first 100K in sales. I mean, if that's your promise, that's fine. As long as your I help statement on your Instagram includes all of those things. So your I help statement would be like, I help burnt out high achiever dads escape the 9-to-5 grind and make their first 100K in sales. That would be my I help statement for you. These are awesome, guys. Great work. They're looking so much better. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Love it. All right. So, guys, that was they're like the two statements. Should we do a little review? Or do we have time? Or are we running out of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running out of time. I knew we would. Guys, all right. So what we're going to do now is, let's have a look. The promise statement. All right, cool. We're going to go through. So we're just going to wrap up today, guys. I need to know in the chat. Tell me in the chat, first and foremost, what was most helpful for you? What landed today? What was most helpful for you? What do you need to do? Something that landed for you today. I want you to tell us in the chat, guys. What was something that landed for you? Simple as best, nailing my niche. What was something that you realized that you needed to do? Make it simple. Use their language. Perfect. Be more specific. Love it. Yeah. Niche down. Get more specific. The templates are awesome. Yeah, cool. Guys, I love it. The specificity is where the money is. I promise you 110%. Can you check your Instagram as well?
Yep.
The messaging is where the specificity is. Okay. Like if you can nail that, you are going to absolutely crush. Okay. So I'm just going to go through tomorrow. So today was the starting foundation. As you guys can see, you know, you haven't created a lead magnet yet. We're not running any ads to it, but it's not the whole wheelhouse. So tomorrow we're going to start building a structure that actually attracts the leads consistently. We're going to help you build out a lead magnet. And I'm also going to show you how to turn that lead magnet on autopilot. So it generates leads for you with your own AI bot. It's really simple. I promise you're going to love it. And you know, today we've nailed your niche, we've nailed your messaging, we've nailed the what and the why. So what you do, why you do it, how you're different, okay? But what about the how? So how do we actually attract leads and get them to convert? That's what we're going to be tackling tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to take this niche, we're going to take this messaging, we're going to turn it into a lead magnet that brings in high quality leads on autopilot. Please don't miss it because this is the link between the clarity you have now and actually landing the client. So tomorrow is going to be amazing. Tim, do we have somebody that's won our competition today for the one-to-one?
Yes, I only had 8 of you.
Eight of you tagged us?
So, we're going to choose 3. So I had Lana Virtual, Brinsley, Jeremy, Piero, we call you Pajero in the house. Chasing Kirsty Palmer.
Pick one. Right. Do you want to chuck it quickly into a thing while I talk through tomorrow?
Yep.
So guys, put a yes if you're going to be here tomorrow in the chat. We would love for you to be here while we build out this lead magnet. It's way more simple than today, but I would love to invite you guys to spend half an hour more today just walking through this stuff and not putting too much pressure on yourself, not making it feel complicated. If you had to do it for work, and the way I love to think about this is if I worked for somebody else's business and they told me to create these statements, what would I say about the business that I worked for? It removes the need for you to have it so personally about you. All right. So I really encourage you guys to spend half an hour working on this tomorrow. We're going to show you how to bring in a lead magnet. And guys, we work with people from zero all the time. I have an example of someone in our program. I'm going to talk through her lead magnet tomorrow. But her name's Corey. She started with us at zero. She's still working in her day job. And she's a counselor. And she really wanted to obviously grow a business, run a course for her program. And she was struggling to attract leads because she was just being a counselor. And she got really deep on her why and her message and her mission and what was most powerful in her life. And she realized that she actually wanted to help like children of alcoholics. So children who have had alcoholic parents. And so she went all in on the niche of daughters of alcoholic parents. She created a lead magnet within the first week in our program. She put some $5 per ads on ads budget behind that are, the next day. And in 3 weeks, I think she generated something like 400 leads and she made a couple of sales into her program from zero. No one knew who she was. She's just started this business a couple of weeks ago and she's making sales already from it because she went hyper specific. So counselor was getting her nowhere, but counseling daughters of alcoholics got her everywhere. So guys, it's so important that you nail the niche down because the more that you niche, the easier it's going to be for you to turn an income and make some money. Okay. All right. So Tim.
I just want to hit on Amanda. She said she's been in business for 12 months and one client. Amanda, that's 100 times better than me. 100% better than me. In my first 12 months, I got 0 clients. Okay. So that's even worse. Okay. So you're 100% better than I am. Keep going. Anyone that's struggling right now, it's one post, one message, one lead magnet, one ad away from fucking killing it. Okay. You're literally that close. And if you're still struggling with this, read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One of my favorite books, really simple, easy to get. First chapter is called 3 Feet from Gold. One of the best entrepreneurial stories you'll ever fucking read. Okay. So Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, first chapter, just read that.
Yeah, guys, it is all about like every time that we've ever gone through, and if you think that we're sitting here and we're not like you guys, we have gone through so many tough times in business. Tim and I have sat on the couch literally some nights and just like cried, crying for like being like, how the fuck are we going to do this? Like none of this is working. What are we even doing? We feel like such failures. Like everything you have felt, we have felt. We have sat there so many times in that emotion before. Okay. And the one thing that I always remind myself, because I've seen it time and time again, the one thing I always remind myself of is the fact that I always say this to myself, I'm one good lead magnet away. I'm one good lead magnet away from a flood of fucking leads, from completely changing some people's lives, from completely turning my own life around, one lead magnet away. And tomorrow we're going to show you guys how to do that. All right. So Kirsty Palmer, you've won our competition today. If you could please DM either myself or Tim, we will set you up with a one-to-one with us. Thank you so much for participating in that challenge, guys. Tomorrow, if you're going to be here, please participate more because we are giving these away. Again, we have the iPad that we're giving away on day 3. Guys, thank you so much.
You literally had a 15% chance of winning today, guys, if you shared the story. 15% chance out of like 260 people that were on. So you just got to play the game. This is literally business in a nutshell. Like so many people don't even play the game. Like there's not that much competition if you just give it effort. And if you just gave it effort today, you would have 15% chance of winning a $2,000 one-on-one. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's so funny, the belief systems that we tell ourselves. A lot of people tell themselves that they're not going to make it in business, or they're kind of running a belief system that it won't actually work out for them. And you guys think that you're competing with the whole wide world, but you're not. You're competing with like, honestly,
not that many people.
7% of entrepreneurs who are taking it as seriously as the fact that you're even here puts you in the top 10% of entrepreneurs. You are not competing with that many people, I promise you. But your ability to like go all in and just fucking show up and just do the work and just have a go and not be scared to fail, because you just learn lessons every time you don't get something right. Like pick a niche, go all in on the niche with the lead magnet that we help you build tomorrow for a month. And you learn some lessons and then you go again and you learn some lessons and you go again. And that's business in a nutshell. And that's how we've got to where we are. That's how our clients do it. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. I really hope to see you guys tomorrow. Please show up. We would love to see you guys tomorrow. And
we're not begging.
Well, no, but like we want to help you guys so much. Like we just genuinely want to help you guys so much. So thank you for being here. We will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Peace out, guys. See you later.